Welcome to Destination Animation, your trip around the world of cartoons and anime, stop motion and puppetry, special effects and CGI, and everything in between. I am your host, Carrie Dreblow.
And I'm your host, Jason Knott, and today we are talking about a potpourri of animation everything.
In your notes it says a bleep ton of bleep.
Yes, but I won't say that, because then I'd have to add censors. Anyway.
Yes. Think about the fragile ears of our viewers.
The fragile ears. Think of the children.
Yes. So, basically today we have a lot of ground to cover since our last episode. Like, we were going to do two different, we watched two animated movies as a group since then, so we were going to talk about them individually, but things didn't quite go as planned in terms of timing, and Becca needed to take some time off, so we're going to briefly touch on the two movies that we saw, and also a crap ton of trailers came out.
A lot of trailers. The major ones was Aladdin
and the internet collectively lost its mind over the Uncanny Valley.
The first trailer for that was not good, and then in the span of that time, we've had another Aladdin trailer, which is marginally better.
Disney said we're going to release the Frozen 2 trailer. Everyone forget about the blue Will Smith Uncanny Valley genie.
Yeah.
And then also, within the last week, Disney released the trailer for Toy Story 4.
I thought they ended it at 3.
Well, maybe they should have, but I don't know. We'll react to the trailer that we saw.
Yes, we'll find out.
We will find out. Was it worth it? Was it not? Is Disney making a big mistake, or are they going to... Yeah. Well, we know they're going to rake in the money from it. Everybody watches Toy Story movies.
Yeah, Disney owns everything now. At the time we were recording this, it's been a day since the Fox 21st Century Fox merger happened, so Disney literally does own pretty much everything now. Make of that what you will.
Well, I mean, on the positive side of that, now Marvel owns their own cinematic universe yet again. Actually, was Spider-Man Fox, or was it just X-Men that was Fox?
X-Men and Fantastic Four was Fox. Spider-Man's still Sony.
Okay, maybe somebody can finally make a good Fantastic Four movie.
Maybe.
Either that, or just Fan-4-Stick.
Fan-4-Stick. Fantastic.
I'm sorry,
1.
It makes me laughing just
Fantastic
to
2.
say that.
Fantastic 3. That's Arrested Development.
So yeah, and also we did have the Oscars take place a couple weeks ago at this point.
Yeah.
Actually positive news this time. Like, the Oscars kind of have a bad history with picking the best animated feature Oscar, and so yeah, we'll talk about what happened there. Anyway,
yes.
And then we are also going to talk about the two movies that we saw. Lego Movie 2, the second part, and How to Train Your Dragon,
the third
Hidden
part.
World. Yes, part 3.
Part 3 of an amazing 9-year trilogy. It's been 9 years, hot damn. Alright.
Jeez!
So I think maybe we should, it's been a while since I've seen the first Aladdin trailer, so I think we should do like a YouTuber, like, style of this,
okay.
and watch the trailer, and then get our raw thoughts down afterward.
Yes, of course. Let us react.
Yes, here we go! Here we go! 1 minute later. No, dear God, no! No! No!
Not a fan of the Will Smith Uncanny Valley genie.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Also, he's very pudgy. But, not to body shame, but...
Yeah, it is interesting.
Will Smith is not that pudgy, I don't think.
No, Will Smith definitely isn't. Will Smith has delicious rippling abs, and everybody loves him.
And a boyish charm.
Yes, of course.
That he's retained from the 90s.
Will Smith. Daddy.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I'm stealing that from ContraPoints and Nostalgia Chick.
Yeah, Genie has always been a daddy, so... Anyway, that's the huge, crux of the backlash that, everyone had when this trailer first came out. Obviously, there was going to be backlash to anyone who was cast as Genie and how he would look, because it's Robin Williams' role,
Yeah, one of the things also with trying to make these movies into live action remakes, there's some things you cannot do in live action. You basically have no choice but to CG them, and when you're trying to mix that with live action, it kind of can make the CG more obvious, and you get Uncanny Valley problems.
Yeah.
And yes, this trailer did have a big Uncanny Valley problem. It looked like his arms were not part of his... It looks like his arms are in a different universe than his face.
Yeah. It looks like his face was kind of pasted onto a Blue Man Group guy with pointy ears. The rest of the trailer looks okay.
Well, I have opinions about the rest of the trailer.
Yeah, like, it's very colorful. That there's a scene, like, a bit of the parade scene, and it looks cool. Looks very nice.
Yeah, the Prince Ali scene and the entire aesthetic of the palace, gorgeous fabrics, rainbow colors, amazing set design there.
Not a real tiger, though.
How dare they?
How dare.
Raja is best kitty cat.
You can bring in a real lion to, model and draw off when you did Lion King, but you can't bring in a real tiger to freaking... No, it's probably better that they don't bring in a real tiger.
Well, big tigers are just big kitties.
They are big kitties,
They're
but
cute.
they can also kill.
Meh. Whatever. Negative propaganda.
No.
Don't believe what the mainstream canine media tells you.
Don't believe Ondor's lies.
So, I do kind of have a general complaint with Disney and their live-action remakes. Like, again, the thing with animation is that you get to caricature, and you get, like... the thing with Aladdin... It's a simple story. Like, when you look at it, it's not the most complicated story, but in the movie, it makes the story look larger than life. And because of the way that animation is able to convey a lot of emotion with not a lot of screen time, where in live action, it kind of grounds it in reality more, where and it shows in this, like the Cave of Wonders in particular. In the animated movie, you have this giant gaping mouth just flying out of the desert sands, and it's epic and huge.
It actually moved.
Yes, that too. It talks.
It's like, it's, early 90s CGI, but it looks good.
Well, I think it still holds.
Yeah,
well,
it still holds up very well.
Some of it holds up, but yeah. Where in this one, it's like the Cave of Wonders is just this little cat head carved into the side of a cliff.
Yeah.
That doesn't look epic to me. It's just like...
Even if it talks, I don't really imagine it looking very, as good as the animated movie.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's some things like that just kind of annoy me from an aesthetic perspective, where it feels... It's almost like the live-action movie feels fundamentally like a smaller movie, just because you don't get the same, like, epic scope and camera angles, but whatever.
There are limits to, actually being there, as opposed to you can draw anything in animation.
See, again, it's like, I have, like, the opposite perspective of other people, where they're like, oh, well, it's just a cartoon, where I'm like, yeah, but this is the imagination of the animators expressed right there on the screen, and...
Like, everything that came from Genie is a product not only of Robin Williams' improvisation, but also the animators and how they could, change him into literally anything. Any famous celebrity.
Yeah.
All right, Sparky, here's the deal.
I wonder if they're going to be doing that same fluid thing with the Will Smith Genie.
Yeah.
Are they going to try, or are they just going to let this be a separate creation unto itself?
Good question. We do actually get to see a little more of Will Smith's Genie in the other trailer they released a few weeks ago.
Yes.
So I think we should watch that.
We are definitely going to watch that. Yeah, the first trailer, we joke that the internet lost its mind at it, and everybody was, like, making fun of the Will Smith Genie. And so Disney was like, oh, here's the Frozen 2 trailer. Everything's fine. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
And we will look at the Frozen 2 trailer, but first, let's compare and contrast Disney's Aladdin with itself.
Yes. The much longer and much more complete and much less focused on the Uncanny Valley Genie trailer. Number 2, which just came out a few weeks ago, I think.
Oh, yeah, last week.
Okay, well,
Tuesday.
Let's watch that one.
Yes, here we go. I gotta stop doing that. 2 minutes later.
Okay, so that trailer was much better.
Yeah, it's way better.
The other trailer barely showed us much, and what they showed wasn't that impressive. This one, you actually get the dynamic camera angles, and you get to see some of the motion, and...
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing about this is the last third of it is, clips, but A Whole New World is playing, and that's interesting, because a lot of the Disney remakes, the majority of them, they have not been musicals.
Well, we did get, the Bare Necessities, and I Want to Be Like...
Well, like, I think in those cases, like, you couldn't really have a Jungle Book remake without the Bare Necessities. We maybe could have gone without I Want to Be Like You, but, like, you also wouldn't have gotten Christopher Walken singing that. So,
I'm kind of glad that that's in there just for the sheer absurdity of Christopher Walken singing
just
about
randomly going in, like, he's this mobster, huge monkey, and he just like starts going, "Now don't try to kill me, man cub."
Yeah, it's like, it's not objectively good, but I like it.
I love it. But yeah, looks like they are doing old songs and new songs with this. Like, Alan Menken is working with the people who did La La Land to make some new songs too, and also Tim Rice.
That'd be great.
Tim Rice is coming back, and that's good.
I can also hope and probably not expect that "Proud of Your Boy" is going to be in there.
Yeah, maybe, but who knows?
Probably not, but it's possible.
Yeah,
they do have it in the stage show.
Yeah, it would be an interesting direction to take. That's new. Which I appreciate when a Disney remake does that, because I don't need to see the animated movie again.
Yeah.
Just in live action.
So that's the thing, I do like feeling like I saw a new movie when it's live action. Like, take it and, I don't know, make it bigger or something. Well, I don't know if I want to say that, because there's a good way to make it bigger and a bad way to make it bigger. The Beauty and the Beast remake is like, did we really need the prologue explained in front of us? Did we really need all of this side story? Yes.
Jeez, I have so many issues with that movie.
Yeah. There's a way to expand the story and give us more good stuff without just like, oh, hey, it's the same story, but now you get to see more of it unnecessarily. Yeah.
And there are some interesting things that they do with this movie. Like, Aladdin is now a parkour master. Which I was actually kind of hoping for. Like, I'd seen this trailer before, but I kind of forgot about it. So I was like, man, I hope Aladdin does parkour. And then, like, the first 10 seconds of the trailer, he's, like, doing all these, like, mad moves across the rooftops. I'm like, yeah, parkour!
Nice. Yeah, also, a detail that I missed before, it looked like there was a giant Iago rampaging through the city streets.
Yeah.
And it was just for a fraction of a second, and I was looking at it like, what?
What happened? Iago, how'd you get so big?
And it's kind of funny, because they were joking, like, Iago just kind of, like, randomly flies through the scene in the background, like, 4 different times. It's like, Brat, also I'm here, Brat!
I'm Alan Tudyk this time. So yeah, I was actually kind of, like, thinking, because of how little focus Disney had put on the Aladdin sequel or remake, that they had kind of wanted to bury it a little bit. Like, they knew they'd done something wrong and just wanted to kind of just tuck it underneath Endgame and whatever else they have coming out. Lion King, I guess.
Lion King, Frozen 2.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like they are actually doing something with it, and we'll see if that something is good.
Yeah. I was not excited to see Aladdin at all. I was expecting to completely hate it after the first trailer. Yeah. The second one makes me, like, cautiously optimistic. Just, if nothing else, the production design looks absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. Like, all of the colors in the fabric, and they had a bunch of, like, flower petals. Agrabah looks like a beautiful, livid city in terms of production design and colors. So, you know, if nothing else, I can see it for that and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, the Will Smith genie looks significantly better in this.
Yeah, and he actually gets to be himself, not like a CGI, creation, so that's better.
Yeah, so presumably they have, like, his true genie form and then, like, a humanized genie form that lets him walk around in the same place.
Yeah.
Which, that worked.
It works.
Alright, so that was Aladdin. Any final thoughts on that quickly?
Well, at least it's better than a Maleficent sequel.
Oh, good God.
That it's actually coming out this year. There are so many freaking movies coming out this year from Disney that this slipped under the radar somehow.
Here's the thing. A lot of people ask, why is Disney doing all of these remakes and all of these sequels? PSA. I have a simple answer. If you want Disney to stop remaking movies and making sequels, stop paying for them at the theaters.
Stop it now.
Money talks. So, I mean, I don't mind. I'll see whatever they make. But, if you genuinely are going to complain about how, everything they do is a remake and a sequel, stop seeing them.
Yeah, I'm a fake movie critic, so, like, I'll go see anything, but you, the general audience, you have the power, you have the money, don't go see these movies.
The power is yours! So, Disney Planeteers.
All right, let's look at Frozen 2 now.
Yes, the trailer that Disney released immediately after the Aladdin trailer and was epic as crap, and everybody was like open-mouthed at it, and they're like, okay, they probably released this just to sweep the first Aladdin trailer under the bus. Let us watch!
Let's go! That's just, here we go, but different.
Several vague and awesomely animated images later.
Damn.
Like,
that trailer, man.
Yeah. I mean, it pulls you in, it makes you ask some questions like, who is that? What is that? Who is that? Who are they? What do you need? What do you need? What do you need?
Poof, what do you need? Poof, what do you need? What do you need? No.
I need to figure out why Elsa is on that beach and why she is desperately trying to make a friggin' path for herself through these crashing tides and waves, and what is happening.
The implication that I got is like she's kind of testing her own strength still. Like it looked like she's like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and
possibly
determined like that.
Yeah, it could be just a test for herself, but also I'm thinking, what if she's like stranded somewhere and needs to, get going?
Yeah, that's possible.
There's a lot of like action-y, adventure-y kind of stuff going on here. Like, higher stakes than the first one. It looks like, just from the vague little clips we see.
Honestly, this trailer didn't show a whole lot, but it showed a very complete scene.
Yeah.
First of Elsa, like, using her ice powers, and she's on, like, this dark, gritty beach with, like, black rocks, and, she's trying to, like, blast through the waves with her ice powers, and it just shows her going up against these waves, like, 3 times, and the emotion in the scene and the power, and I gotta gush about the texturing of this environment. My
so good.
God, it looks gorgeous.
It looks real. Like, up until they show Elsa, you could be convinced that you're looking at an actual, like, live action movie.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, Disney already had good water animation with this is even better than Moana's water animation. And that was good, but it was almost like fairy tale water, where it was like a little bit too clear and a little bit too perfect, where this is like dark, gritty, foamy ocean water, and it just looks great.
Ugh. We get little other scenes of Kristoff with his reindeer family, and Elsa and Olaf surrounded by fire, and Elsa's trying to like put it out or keep it away with her powers. These two new characters. We don't really get to see their faces, but they're kind of new. I don't know. The trailer makes you ask it.
Yep. Who are they? What's happening? Also, there's a little scene where Anna just grabs Kristoff's sword or
slashes the camera.
Kristoff, not Hans.
Yeah, Kristoff.
Sorry. But she just grabs Kristoff's sword and like swings it at something. So, yeah.
At the camera. She realized that she was being followed. She killed the cameraman. The movie's over. If Disney did those like old bloopers like that Pixar used to do in their early movies, like that could actually be a blooper. She actually hits the camera and breaks it.
I miss the bloopers.
They were fun.
I don't think they're going to do them again, though, but
yeah.
I do. Those were fun.
I really like this approach to trailers. This is how every trailer should be. It just gives you little snippets of information, little visual clues, and then it just leaves you to do the rest of the work. And it makes you want to go see the movie. Like the Star Wars movies, the most recent ones, they've all had those trailers. You didn't know what the hell was going on in The Force Awakens until you actually saw the movie, and you're like, oh, it's A New Hope. No, that's a bad joke.
This is almost kind of like similar to a classic Disney trailer. A strategy they used a lot in the 90s is, especially with The Lion King and Pocahontas, is they just showed a complete scene. And they said, look at what we've done, and here it is in all its glory. Yeah.
I remember those trailers.
You gotta see more.
Because, like, they just showed straight up the Circle of Life and Colors of the Wind in those trailers, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. And my 9-year-old brain exploded.
So yeah, we're definitely going to talk about this movie when it comes out.
Hell to the yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. The entire aesthetic of this trailer looks completely different. Like, Elsa still has her, like, beautiful shimmering blue, like, fairy tale dress, but like the hairstyles are much more realistic.
The clothes are more practical.
Yes,
for adventuring.
like, it looks like they're going a completely different direction. It looks like they're going away from just the classic fairy tale aesthetic, and it's more about the characters and growth.
Yeah, they're going on a Lord of the Rings style quest, it looks like it.
Possibly. But yeah, it looks awesome. I'm totally hooked after this trailer. I
Me
gotta
too.
see it. And I was very skeptical about the Frozen sequel
Yeah.
after the first one.
I think even people who don't or didn't like the first movie are kind of like, okay, what's going on here for the, the trailer for this? And yeah, this might have been the best approach for Disney. For people who are, tired of Frozen now because they've milked it dry. Well, they haven't milked it dry, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, Frozen is still kind of like the biggest thing ever in terms of marketing and, like little girls buying Elsa dolls and Anna dolls and singing along to the songs and Let It Go being permanently ingrained in people's heads now.
Yeah.
It's just like it was in the 90s. Children get to annoy their parents by watching the same movie over and over again.
My cousins, this is unrelated, but my cousins actually watched The Little Mermaid so much that my aunt, she hit it and said, "Oh, it's busted. You played it too many times. I'm sorry." That's so amusing.
Yeah, parents lying to kids, another tradition.
Yep.
My mom and dad actually told me that if I played my Nintendo too long, it would overheat. It took me until, 5 years ago when I finally found out, oh wait, that's not true. Yeah, I kind of like the joke. When did you find out? I was today years old.
Yeah. Oh, lying. So fun. Anyway, on the Pixar side of things, we also have a new trailer for Toy Story 4, the fourth one.
Yes, we do. Before this, we only had a teaser trailer, which was at a carnival, and you saw the Key and Peele characters.
Are they Key and Peele?
Or wait, no. Whoever's playing it's some comedy duo.
Oh, that's neat. You can kind of see it, too, how they, interact it with each other.
Yeah.
We actually have story details now, and new characters, and old characters.
Yes, the return of an old character.
Ah.
Let us watch, and
Yes.
we will share.
Go, here we.
2.5. Oh god, this is going to make me cry, isn't it?
Can toys cry?
I don't know.
That's probably going to be another interesting question brought up in this movie, because, we already have the one where Bonnie frickin' makes, what's his name, Forky?
Yeah, Forky.
Yeah.
That, by the way, is seriously going to be the plot of the movie. And I heard about this before the trailer came out, but Bonnie makes a toy out of a spork, which now becomes sentient, and yeah.
That is really interesting, though.
Just the sheer absurdity of that being the premise of Toy Story 4.
Yeah. And obviously they add a little more to it with this trailer. They reveal that Bo Peep is back.
Yes, she is.
And she's kind of become this, leader of lost toys in this, carnival place.
Oh, we're on the island of unwanted toys. No. But yeah, so it's like Bo Peep and her band of renegades at a carnival. Mm-hmm. Well, not really band of renegades, but yeah, there is a carnival, and Bo Peep is talking about how there's, another life out there, not just being one kid's toy, but there's plenty of kids, etc.
It's kind of the same as Toy Story 2's kind of basic plot.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's slightly different, though, because in Toy Story 2, it was all about, being preserved in this museum and, not even really being able to, be played with other kids. But in, a carnival setting, I guess it's more there's plenty of kids you can play with here.
I do feel like they put an interesting twist on this, where in this case, it's not like a villain who's driving it so much. It's a friend. And it seems like Bo Peep has kind of, found a way to be happy on her own, and she's made her own life, and it might be an interesting contrast where it's a challenge of you can actually be happy striking out on your own versus an evil villain is trying to keep you here.
Slappy from Goosebumps. Lots of slappies from Goosebumps.
Yeah, I'm grossly oversimplifying, though. The villains were great in the previous two.
This creepy doll lady kid girl thing.
Oh, yeah.
And all her minions.
That is somewhere where I'm kind of hoping that they don't go, but it looks like they might be, is just yet another Toy Story villain, which, there's a creepy doll and these creepy 1960s ventriloquist dummies.
Yeah.
So
They are creepy.
yeah,
I kind of get some vibes that maybe Bo Peep might be a villain too, possibly.
I don't know.
I don't know. She's definitely become her own character since, like, whatever happened to her, how she got lost or, like, sold or whatever from Andy's house. And I think they're actually going to go into that in this movie.
Yeah, she's actually kind of like Elsa in the previous trailer. She's basically like wearing more practical clothes. She's like just
What happened to her sheep?
They were taken.
No! I would watch that movie, Bo Peep going after her lost sheep.
Well, I don't know. You know, maybe they'll talk about it in the movie.
I will find you, and I will kill you. I don't know.
Oh, God.
I'm trying to do a Bo Peep impression.
Ian Peepson.
Uh,
What I do have is a very particular set of skills. If you find my sheep, I will find you, and I will kill you. I can't really do her voice either, but...
But yeah, I think both of us, and Becca too, were a little concerned when Toy Story 4 was announced.
Yeah, I think the entire internet was concerned when it was announced. We were
Yeah.
like, why Disney? Why? The ending of 3 was so perfect. Why
So
do you have to
perfect.
go further?
And Toy Story is just one of those perfect trilogies too. Like, they have problems, sure, but the bulk of the movies is just so delightful and so fun. How can you do another one?
Yeah, well, now we know how they can. And
Yeah.
it does actually look like they are going to have some legitimate feels, and it's
Yeah.
yet again going to challenge the toy's notions of what it means to be someone's toy. Where do you find happiness? So, yeah, that part of the trailer I was definitely on board with. It looks
Yeah.
like they did find an emotionally resonant story.
And I think Tom Hanks said that this is the saddest ending yet, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh, no. No! Why do you do this to me? Toy Story 3 made me cry so
Yeah.
much.
Ugh.
Just the ending of that where Andy is like, you know, going to college is just like, my shoulders are crying. It's so sad, but it's beautiful.
It's the end of childhood.
Toy Story just wrecks my feels. So if this has another feels wrecking conclusion, well played, Pixar.
Well played. Well played.
See, also, it will be interesting to see where the Toy Story franchise goes without John Lasseter and Lee Unkrich at the helm.
Yeah. A lot of the plot from the John Lasseter era when he was directing is still there. Because
Yeah.
he said that he wanted to bring Bo Peep back and kind of go into this love story that he said was kind of based off the love story he has with his wife. So,
Okay.
I don't know if that aged very well.
I don't know. But yeah, like, Toy Story was kind of John Lasseter's pet project from the very beginning. Well, and Cars, but, well...
Cars is a little...
One has a little more success. But for those who don't know, John Lasseter was ousted from Disney due to some slight misconduct with the employees, which is pretty sad that he ended up being like that because the guy is very good at what he does. But yeah, not okay.
Not cool.
Obviously. And Lee Unkrich, who directed Toy Story 3, left Pixar not too
recently.
long ago. So it is going to be interesting seeing where Pixar goes in this like new era where their entire management structure is going to be different.
Yeah. I think the guy who directed Inside Out, Up, and Monsters, Inc. took over as the head of Pixar, Pete Docter.
Yeah, Pete Docter is the head of Pixar, and Jennifer Lee, the co-director of Frozen, is the lead of Disney now.
Yeah, so we're in good hands.
Yeah, they're both great. We're definitely in good hands.
Yeah.
But it's definitely interesting to see where this will go without the directors and the creators that have been at the helm of this series since the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. And it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here, because I think this is the last sequel they have on their plate right now.
Yeah, I kind of can't see them making a Toy Story 5. Like, I feel like after the Bo Peep thing, this will have all the loose ends wrapped up.
Yeah, hopefully.
But we can hope. Also, like, again, the comedy duo that's going to be in this, their characters look fun.
They do.
And I don't have much else to say. But
Me neither. Toy Story 4. Let's hope it's as good as God of War 4.
I wouldn't know, so I'll trust you on that one.
All right. So next up,
Next topic on our cornucopia.
let's talk briefly about the Academy Awards, the 91st that aired February 24th. I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page.
I gotta pull up the quote.
Yep, the quote. The quote.
The quote. The condemning quote.
Quote.
All right, so we have opinions about the Oscars and their respect or lack thereof for the art form of animation.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And film editing by the looks of this year's winner.
so the Academy is notorious for heavily favoring Disney and Pixar over everything else. The one exception probably being when Spirited Away beat out Monsters, Inc. But ever since then, Pixar and Disney have just dominated the Oscars for animation.
Not Monsters,
deservedly or not.
Spirited Away came out the year after Monsters, Inc.
They were both in the same Oscar contention, I thought, though.
Oh, no. That was, Monsters, Inc. was the first year that it was the, best animated picture came out, and Shrek won.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the contenders against Spirited Away were Ice Age and something else.
Well, let's see what the internet has to say. Okay, yeah, I was wrong. Spirited Away beat... Okay, it was against Lilo and Stitch, so...
Yeah, but anyway.
Okay, Carrie has been proven wrong. Carrie apologizes.
Yes, it's okay, Carrie. We still love you.
Okay, and I guess Happy Feet beat Cars, but come on, no one thinks that Cars is, like, a piece of animation art. But,
well, that's a little mean. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Well, I think it's a decent movie. It's just that, like, when I think
it's not a masterpiece. Is what you're saying.
Feature. It's
yeah.
All right, so the Oscars kind of have a past history of overlooking movies that
are good. No,
while they didn't really make the most money at the box office, are like really amazing pieces of art.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, Leica has yet to win an Oscar.
For sure.
The Oscar committee nominated, like, some of the nominations they have are just, like, face-palming. Yeah, like, The Boss Baby.
Yeah, in
Why?
2017, that year, Boss Baby. Great job, guys.
Yeah.
Great job. And apparently Shark Tale was nominated in 2004.
Oh, yeah, it was. God.
Oh, how the heck did Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit beat out Howl's Moving Castle? Like, that's a cute movie, but come on.
Yeah, no. That's one of their more eragenous ones.
Yes.
The one for me is, like, they still have yet to recognize Cartoon Saloon, who made The Secret of Kells and Song of the Sea and The Breadwinner. God, those movies are so good. And nothing.
In the case of Secret of Kells, 2009 was a very strong year for animation, so anyone could have won. Up one, obviously, but, like, anyone could have won that category in a fair setting.
That's fair. I guess Up deserves it.
Song of the Sea is a little more infuriating because of that quote. The quote.
Oh, yeah. The infamous quote. Here's... Oh, God. Ugh. All right, so the Oscar committee, they have the option, basically, of either only having a small, like, insider group that knows a lot about animation voting, or for the entire Academy to vote.
Yeah. They
figured that if they just asked animation people, there wouldn't be enough. So this was one of the biggest snubs, was the year that it was The Box Trolls, Big Hero 6, How to Train Your Dragon 2, The Lego Movie, and The Tales of Princess Kaguya and Song of the Sea. Here is the quote from one of the voters. Quote.
And the Lego Movie wasn't even nominated that year.
Oh, yeah, the Lego Movie wasn't.
Yeah.
God.
That's another thing. Anyway, the quote.
Oh, let's see. I only watch the ones that my kid wants to see, so I didn't see The Box Trolls, but I saw Big Hero 6 and How to Train Your Dragon 2. We both connected to Big Hero 6. I just found it to be more satisfying. When a movie that is successful and culturally hits all the right chords and does the same kind of box office as the Lego Movie, for that movie to not be in over these, quote, two obscure freaking Chinese effing things that nobody ever freaking saw, that is my biggest bitch. Most people didn't even know what they were. How does that happen? That to me is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Oh my God.
Jog on, whoever made that quote.
Yeah, apparently the freaking Chinese freaking things were The Tale of Princess Kaguya, which was the last film of acclaimed Studio Ghibli director Isao Takahata.
Yes.
Which is a gorgeous piece of art.
It's such a good movie.
Yes. He completely went out there with the visual aesthetic on that one. It has it's made in a style that makes it look like classic Japanese paintings.
Yeah.
Like with the brush strokes, and they really went out there with style, and also it is a beautiful story, and man, Isao Takahata just gets snubbed in that.
Yeah.
And Song of the Sea. He was complaining about Song of the Sea.
An Irish movie. Irish. Like, it's one thing to be racist towards the Chinese, but like, how? It was made by white guys. You should know this.
Hey. Also, not Chinese. Japanese. Get it right. Anyway.
Yes.
That is why we tend to not have faith in the Oscar panel, because that is the kind of opinion of the people who are voting on these.
The people. Yes.
Like, honestly, the Annie Awards, which are actually given out by people in the animation industry, tend to be a little bit more respectable in terms of what they pick. This year, though...
Retribution.
The Oscar committee, these pibble squids, finally got it right, in my opinion.
Retribution.
So, the nominees this year were Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, as well as the big Disney Pixar releases, The Incredibles 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and, what were the other ones?
Isle of Dogs and,
Mirai,
yeah.
Yeah, which, I could have seen it going to Isle of Dogs or Mirai. Both of those were good movies.
Yeah.
If, like, Wes Anderson's movies are an acquired taste for some people.
Mm-hmm. I quite like them. They're very charming.
Yeah, finally, they did not... Like, I was going to break things if they picked The Incredibles 2 or Ralph Breaks the Internet. Like, those movies were fine, but really, best animated feature when you have, like, 3 movies with these amazing, distinct visual styles. Like, why?
You have to think about not only the story and the plot, but also the animation. And the film with the most unique animation this year, by far, was Into the Spider-Verse.
Heck yeah. Like...
And that is why it won.
Yeah, and I was not expecting it to actually win. Because,
Me neither.
That was my favorite animated movie of the year.
Hell yeah.
It had this gorgeous, distinct style, which we've talked about, which was like a comic book come to life.
Yes.
It was the biggest leap forward in terms of animation style from a major American studio I've seen in years.
Yes, we have a whole episode about that. Plug.
Yes, so shameless plug.
But yeah, that was just... You did something right, Academy. You did it.
Yes.
You
Congratulations, Pibble Squid. You got it right.
You did it. And 1 or 2 hours later, you chose Green Book as your Best Picture winner. So you kind of took a step forward and 3 steps back. So
Hollywood and their white savior movies, I swear to God. Okay, anyway.
I haven't seen Green Book.
It's basically like Driving Miss Daisy, but not.
Yeah.
A similar thing. It's a movie that was reasonably well rated, but it's like a white savior movie and about...
An Italian white savior.
Yes.
I'm a Viggo Mortensen. I'm Italian. Come on.
In any case, that was the Oscars, and now we have 2 movies that came out that we watched that we need to talk about.
Yes.
So, we got The Lego Movie 2 and How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, which...
The Hidden World.
Alright, so...
The thing about Lego Movie 2 is that it's been a while since I've seen it.
Okay. Well, I wrote my opinions down. I don't know about
yes,
you.
You did. Well, look, listen.
I'm calling you out, Jason.
Listen. Well, I've come up with an excuse. Anyway.
Okay.
Yes, refresh our memory, Carrie.
Alright, so the Lego Movie 2 opens exactly where the first one left off, with the perfect Lego city being invaded by the Duplo aliens from the Sistar system.
We are from the planet Duplo, and we are here to destroy you.
The planet Duplo. Yeah. And so the city gradually morphs into this new iteration of the city, Apocalypseburg. And so it's like a desert version of the city, and it's like Mad Max Fury Road. They have all these, like, crazy vehicles spouting fire, and, like, They have Unikitty as, like, this big hulking machine.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's this big bunker where they hunker down so that the...
Hunker.
Yeah. And, so yeah, everybody lives in fear. Everything's not awesome.
Except for Emmett. He still thinks everything's awesome.
Yep. And, he's still trying to date Wildstyle, and, but she's like, Emmett, you need to grow up.
Yeah, you can't keep pretending that everything is awesome.
Yep.
But he's not pretending. He legit thinks everything is awesome.
Yes.
Like, he still has this childlike innocence in this, like, darker, more adult, quote-unquote, world, and that's one of the major themes of the movie that I think it does actually pretty well.
Yep, for sure.
Both of the Lego movies, like, the first one you didn't realize this until the end, which is the brilliance of it, but now that you get the idea, the second film isn't so much trying to trick you, it kind of wears what it's trying to say on its sleeve, which it depending on how you look at it, might be better or worse compared to the first movie.
Yeah.
There are still some surprises, and the major themes of how we relate to our, immediate families is like one of the most interesting parts about it, because obviously the last film it was about the kid and his dad, and this time it's about the kid and his younger sister and how they play.
Yeah, like, and it doesn't really hide it. Like, these invading aliens are from the Sistar system.
The Sistar system?
Yeah.
Like, one of the major things that the characters have to go up against are stereotypical teenage girl things.
Yep.
Like preteen girl things. Like, there's catchy pop songs that get stuck inside your head, and girly, quote-unquote, looking designs and such.
Yeah, the colors are the aesthetic colors are more like purple, and like there's also like Lego Friends figures in there. So yeah, it's still the normal Lego figures rather than the Friends, but they are there in some quantity.
Yeah, and I love how they move too. They just kind of like bounce up and down. They can't move their legs at all, so they just bounce.
Except this one figure, well, okay, I should probably say, a vessel from the Sistar system infiltrates the bunker and carries off the leaders of Apocalypseburg.
Yes.
And so
except for Emmett.
Yeah, except for Emmett. And so Emmett stages a rescue mission to save everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And they arrive on the Sistar system. And this is where I was going to talk about this evil queen whatever a wannabe.
Yeah.
Who is like this amazing shape-shifting character that like doesn't have a definite form but is constantly changing and shifting, can be big, can be small, sometimes has a humanoid figure, sometimes is just like an amorphous blob, or
hey guys.
I love this design. Like,
it's really cool.
This character is almost like the genie from Aladdin, where because they were able to do anything, it's like her motion accentuates whatever she's feeling. Oh god, I love it.
She has really catchy songs.
She has an awesome villain song.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's literally a song in this movie called the Catchy Song. This song's gonna get stuck inside your head. It was the villain song, not evil, that got stuck in my head way more.
Yeah.
Just that refrain. Queen, whatever, wanna be the least evil queen in history. That part of the melody would not leave my head for like a month after I saw this movie.
It's so good.
It's so catchy!
The movie still retains its quality of humor that the first film had.
Yeah. It is kind of a different humor. Like, in the first movie, a lot of the humor was related to this is the Lego version of this thing.
Yeah.
Where they kind of can't do that in the sequel because they've already used up most of the good jokes. So the humor in this movie is much more character-based.
Mm-hmm.
Which, in a way, actually kind of makes this one a little bit... I don't know, it makes it not quite as fresh, but at the same time, it's still super entertaining.
Yeah, super energetic.
Because, I love these characters.
Yeah, and they all go through some, interesting character arcs here. And it pertains to how, the human boy and the human girl play with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of the funnier bits in the opening, when the Duplo toys are attacking, Batman throws a batarang at one of the toys and it hits him and like, you missed me. No, I did not.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's totally how brothers and sisters play.
Yep. You missed me. No, I didn't. I hit you. Did not.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah.
Lego Batman is still the best character.
Will Arnett Batman.
Yeah, Batman being this totally childish character, it's great.
Yeah, in this one, it kind of shows Batman still being the egomaniac, but, like, not kind of the still trying to be tough type thing.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as he gets to the Sistar system, like, the Queen promises him half of everything, and he's like, everything? And so he immediately, like, acclimates, and now he's like a white Batman, and he has, like, these star glasses on.
He's gonna get married to her.
Yeah, through a very hilarious method, but yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah, honestly, if you haven't seen it yet, and not a lot of people have because the box office returns haven't been as great as the first movie.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it yet, go see it. It might still be in theaters.
Yeah, I feel like the Lego movie kind of tried to do like a Marvel Cinematic Universe thing where it just spun off like 2 or 3 movies before getting to the sequel. Mm-hmm. So like the sequel was supposed to be the equivalent of like the Avengers, which ties everything back together, but I think people just kind of got fatigued of it.
Yeah, and like the Lego Batman movie is good. It's very good. I think it's even better than the Lego movie, honestly.
I haven't seen it yet.
We're gonna show you that.
Okay.
Lego Ninjago is kind of where it kind of like petered down a little bit. It's still a fine movie, but it's not as good as Lego Movie or Lego Movie 2.
Yeah.
And then there was, a year off of Lego movies, and then we have Lego Movie 2, which I think the marketing kind of made it seem like, oh, it's just like the first movie again. This
is something that sometimes when you just put 2 after a movie, it works. Like Frozen 2. Bam. Mm-hmm. Gotta watch it. Where, like this one was called the Lego Movie 2, the second part. So there's kind of a question, and this is a debate that goes on in the advertising of animated movies, is when do you like stop mentioning that it's a sequel and just use like a tagline? So like a lot of sequels are doing that. For example, How to Train Your Dragon, it's not How to Train Your Dragon 3, it was just How to Train Your Dragon The Hidden World.
Yeah, it's not Wreck-It Ralph 2, it's Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Which I kind of feel like that might actually be a better marketing campaign because it gives the movie an identity of its own in the marketing. Yeah. So you have a reason to see it other than, oh, hey, it's this thing again.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I guess it depends how much hype there is for something. And this movie, unfortunately, did not have as much hype as I was expecting.
Yeah. It didn't even have, like, that unexpected, like, surprise that the first movie had. Like, everyone kind of assumed that the Lego movie was just gonna be a cheap cash-in about Lego. Mm-hmm. And then you go in and see it like, oh, it's actually really good. You have to go see it. And that kind of spread the word of mouth more and drew more people in. And I think that was kind of lost the second time because you were expecting it to be good. And I guess it didn't really surprise people with what it did this time around.
Yeah.
Which is a bit unfortunate, but they're probably still going to make more Lego movies.
Yeah, because this movie was very, very enjoyable. I don't think it's going to be one of my favorite animated movies of the year.
Yeah.
But it was very, very enjoyable. I really like where they went with the story. They really went out there with all of the designs just like they did in the first movie. Well, even more so. This movie goes all over the Lego universe, basically. The first one, not quite as much. It was more contained in certain spaces.
Yeah.
So, in this one, they really went out there with the world building. And, like, during the catchy song scene, they're in this suburban environment. The entire cityscape is bouncing up and down. The houses are bouncing up and down. Everything's moving. It's just like, God, how much effort did it take to do this?
It's crazy. And when you say Lego universe, you basically mean the main character's, or the human main character's house.
Yes.
Go see it. If it's not in theaters anymore, and I don't know why it wouldn't be. It's only been a month. But yeah, just go see it when it comes out on video and such. Video? Who says video anymore?
Coming to your screen on home video!
Coming soon to own on DVD and video cassette. Your ears are bleeding now. Anyway, speaking of the Hidden World, let's talk about the Hidden World.
How to Train Your Dragon has a special history in DreamWorks. Like, the history of this movie, this series really begins back in 2007-2008 when Chris Sanders was directing, was the original director of Bolt.
Oh, yeah.
Which, at that point, was called American Dog. And John Lasseter and Ed Catmull and the Pixar crew took over the Disney studio halfway through production of that movie, and the two of them, John Lasseter and Chris Sanders, did not see eye to eye on the direction of the movie. Chris Sanders is kind of a quirky director.
Yeah, he definitely is.
He has, kind of this very distinct weirdness to his style.
Yeah, Chris Sanders is the one who directed Lilo and Stitch. Him and Dean
DeBlois?
Dean DeBlois. I don't want to butcher his name.
DeBlois, whatever. DeBlois.
Dean. Let's call him Dean. His name's Dean.
Dean. Dude.
His name is Dean. We like Dean.
Yes. So after this Chris Sanders had a falling out because of the direction that Disney took with Bolt. And so he went to DreamWorks and immediately started working on a movie there, How to Train Your Dragon. And so this movie series is kind of like the pet child of Chris Sanders and Dean. Last name.
Just Dean.
Yeah. And Chris Sanders isn't directing this third one. He's moved to directing The Croods 2, so he was not available. But
he didn't direct the second one either.
Yeah.
It was just Dean.
Yep. But yeah, that's where this series came from. And I think it took a lot of people by surprise because this came out around the same time as DreamWorks was just like at the peak of their upswing, where they just started making like the nerdy genre love kinds of movies after Shark Tale and...
Yeah, they had a bit of a bad run for a couple of years up until Kung Fu Panda came out and was actually good.
Yep. I even hate to admit that I ragged on Kung Fu Panda before it came out because it just sounded so stupid conceptually.
Well, yeah. Like, it looked ridiculous, but it was so good.
Yeah, somehow it worked. But yeah, How to Train Your Dragon, unfortunately, now is like the only reason that I still like DreamWorks. Like, they just have not been that good recently.
Yeah, DreamWorks, I love you so much. Like, but why?
When they're good, they're very, very good.
Somebody on Tumblr years ago said that this may be a controversial opinion, but DreamWorks at their best greater than Disney at their best. And like, I kind of see where they're coming from, because when DreamWorks is good, they're great. Like, they made The Prince of Egypt.
Yes, that movie still exists in their canon.
Kung Fu Panda 2 is one of the legit best sequels ever. And How to Train Your Dragon 2 is one of my favorite sequels ever. They take certain risks that Disney really doesn't nowadays. And maybe they would like 20 years ago, like when they killed Mufasa, but you don't really see them taking huge risks like, oh, Hiccup lost his leg. Oh, Stoic is dead.
Yep.
Spoilers for How to Train Your Dragon 2 and 1.
Yeah, so this series is special, for sure.
Yeah.
The original How to Train Your Dragon, I do think is one of my favorite animated movies. Like, I watch it a lot.
Yeah, it's cute, and the animation hasn't aged particularly well, I found when I rewatched it. But it's still good animation. It's mainly the character models and such that have aged kind of poorly. It's the, environments still look amazing, and the flying scenes are great.
Yeah, I do have to say, this is one of the few film series that I recommend seeing in 3D.
Yes.
It is not common that I will see a movie in 3D, because a lot of times the 3D is either A, distracting, or B, not worth it.
Yeah.
In the Dragon series, when it's used for these sweeping environmental shots where you feel like you're there.
Yeah, for sure.
You feel like you're immersed in these amazing environments. So, again, Dragon, see it in 3D. Highly recommend
yes,
it.
I am so disappointed in myself that I didn't see the first two in 3D. I'm so disappointed in myself.
Shun
the non-believer.
But yeah, so the original, all-time classic. Second one, a lot, sounds like you really liked it a lot better than I did.
I really loved the second movie. Like, the boost in animation between the first and second movie, it makes me pumped. I'm pumped just thinking about it. Like, the camera angles are slightly like different and more like almost real world like too, and like the lighting and the textures. It's so good. I love it. Where it takes Hiccup's personal journey and he meets his mom, his Kate Blanchett mom. Gerard Butler dies. Like, the only real, or two of the only real negative things about the second one I can say of is that the villain isn't as developed as he could be. Like, he's fine for what he needs to be in the movie, but he's not the most interesting.
That's the thing that bogged the movie down for me, is they have like just this like stereotypical like rawr villain who's like growling over the movie. The Alpha!
Well, I will say he is kind of like soft-spoken up until he starts, be all like, Rah! Like, that's kind of interesting at least. But the other thing is that in this movie, the second movie and the third, they don't really know what to do with the other dragon riders.
Yeah.
Like, one of the twins, the girl one, has this like kind of love rectangle going on with the... What are their names? Crap. I don't even know their names, see? The Jonah Hill Snoutlout character and the Christopher Mintz Plaze, I don't know, Fish Legs character. They both are crushing on the... what is her name even? Jeez. Roughnut, one of the twins.
Mm-hmm.
They're both crushing on her, but she has a crush on Eret, son of Eret, Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. And that is a funny subplot, but it doesn't really add much to the movie, and neither do the other writers. So that's the only real thing about How to Train Your Dragon 2 and The Hidden World 2. Like,
yeah, I feel like this movie did a lot with its side characters.
Yeah, but there's so many side characters, there's only so much they can do.
Yeah, and the second movie was very plot heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, moving on to How to Train Your Dragon 3,
Yes.
which presumably is going to be the final one. I don't know if there's going to be spin-offs or something.
It looks like it is the final movie, but
Yeah.
that doesn't exclude like TV shows and whatnot.
Yeah, of course there is an ongoing TV show
Mm-hmm.
in the Dragon universe.
Which I would see, but man, the animation. It's to be expected because it's TV budget, but man, I wish it were better.
Yeah.
That's not to knock the people who make it. It's just like when you go see the movies, and then how can you expect it to see be expected to see anything less?
Yeah, I mean, TV producers do the best they can with what they're given, but...
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah.
The Hidden World is probably the best Dragons movie, like, in terms of animation alone.
Good God, the environments in this movie are mind-blowingly gorgeous.
So good.
Yeah, like, they took Burke, and in the second movie, it had already expanded into, like, this dragon paradise, where now it's, like, this teeming dragon metropolis.
Yeah.
And they have so much detail in the buildings, and, like...
There's little nests that the dragons have.
Yeah.
Like bird nests, almost.
So much is moving.
Bird houses, that's what I mean.
It's like the shot where they show Burke is so complex.
Yeah. There's this new, huge moose-looking dragon that's Becca's favorite. We do see a few new dragons in this movie, and one of them is the Light Fury.
Yes, the
beluga-looking Night Fury.
female.
Female.
Yes. So, the main plot of this movie, like this was spoiled in the trailers pretty much, is the Dragon Riders are going on a rescue mission. There's some dragons caged. Like, people are coming to Burke to constantly try to steal the dragons, and, you know, like, the main cast of Dragon Riders has to save them. One time when they're setting dragons free, there is, like, basically what looks like a white version of Toothless, so, you know, a Light Fury. And when they meet the villain of this movie, the two of them kind of, I can't remember the name, I'm sorry.
Grimmel, the grizzly, I think his name was.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but Toothless meets up with the Light Fury, and they kind of become Twitter-pated.
Twitter-pated?
Yeah. And so the villain of this movie is trying to use the Light Fury to...
hunt down Toothless.
Yeah, hunt down Toothless.
Because he's hunted down the other Night Furies up to this point, and Toothless is the last one. That's sad.
Yeah. So basically, the plot that gets set up is that Hiccup decides that they need to leave Burke to protect the dragons and protect their way of life, because so many people now know that they're there, that it puts all of them in danger to stay there. So they decide to move Burke.
Yeah. They pull a Thor Ragnarok and just move house.
And while all of this is going on, we have, like, the romantic plot developing between Toothless and the Light Fury, and Hiccup's kind of caught in the crossfire and not knowing what to do because, you know, his buddy is going off and doing his own thing, and it doesn't really involve him, so...
It ultimately comes between this choice of letting the dragons go off and be safe and do their own thing, or, you know, keep them, but risk people like Grimmel or Drago coming in and destroying their way of life.
And so they go off in search of something that Hiccup's father talked about, the Hidden World.
The Hidden World.
The world where dragons come from.
Yes. It's not just a nest. I can't even do a Gerard Butler voice. Why did I try? Man, those two flashbacks with Stoic.
Oh, the feels, yes.
I don't want to give too much away, but Stoic is at this point. Hiccup's a young boy, and he didn't really know his mom, but Stoic... He's still at this point where he's mourning for Valka and is all sad, and it's sad. And I actually got the impression the second time I watched that, he might be trying to find the hidden world because he thinks that Valka might have been taken
Maybe.
there. That made me sad.
Yeah, at the same time, there's also this plot going on of Hiccup learning to be the leader of Burke like his dad was.
Mhm.
And Astrid also is helping him. And, like, they're getting a little bit of pressure from
Everyone.
from everyone to settle down and make decisions.
Yeah, I think the major crux of the movie is growing up and sort of moving
Yeah.
on, too.
Like, it does feel like all of these character arcs and, like, Hiccup's personal growth from, like, the outcast of the tribe to the leader that everyone looks to is complete in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, one way or another, it is complete.
And even Toothless, because he started out as, alone, the last Night Fury, and now he has a mate.
Mm-hmm.
Who is a Light Fury, but is still compatible with him.
Yes.
And but a lot of the best scenes in this movie are when Toothless is courting the Light Fury, because there's obviously no dialogue, but so much is said.
That is one of the good things about the Dragons series is the dragons don't speak.
Mhm.
You infer everything about them through their motion. They do such a good job.
Such a good job. Toothless doesn't know how to court a Light Fury.
Yes.
So, like, they try so many things, like, Hiccup tries to, give him little ideas on how to, and Toothless only has, like, the other mating rituals of the other dragons to go off of, so he just utterly fails.
His courting fail is very hilarious, though.
Yeah, it's so good.
But they're a sweet couple, and there's so much sweetness, and Astrid and Hiccup are actually like a legitimately cute couple in this, and
they are so cute.
And everything is cute, and it's, it's happy and it's beautiful, and I love it.
Then Grimmel comes in and ruins everything. Grimmel is an interesting villain, because he's kind of the same as Drago in that he has dragons of his own, and he's trying to, steal steal Toothless away. But it's for slightly different reasons. Like, Grimmel is not a warlord, he's a dragon hunter. And he shows how capable he is as a hunter throughout the movie. And he's actually kind of funny, too. Like, he has a kind of lanky design and has, like, an interesting accent. I don't even know what it is. The first scene that he meets Hiccup, he's like, Chief Hiccup. Should I pronounce that Chief Hiccup?
To me, this villain actually feels more of a legitimate threat, and, like, I understand. It's kind of creepy that you understand his motivation. I don't know. He feels...
You kind of do, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of a shadowy reflection of Hiccup, in a way. He says that at one point he downed a Night Fury too, and he had a chance to kill him, and he actually took it, where Hiccup didn't. So... it kind of makes you think that if Hiccup did kill Toothless, would he have become sort of this emotionalist, dark dragon hunter too?
I hadn't thought of that, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because Grimmel uses a lot of gadgets too. He's not, the strongest looking guy, but he makes up for it with his ingenuity, and that's Hiccup to a T.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like Grimmel as a villain better than the villain in the second one, which, again, I complained. The second movie's villain is very just like, rawr, dominance, alpha. And, that's not like an interesting villain to me, where this one, they very effectively use suspense and, the lair that this guy has, where it's...
Yeah.
He has, like, almost these cobra-like dragon...
yeah, scorpion-looking dragons.
I don't know, for some reason their motion reminded me of a cobra, where they're, like, sneaky, and they have, like, they're poisonous, I think?
Yeah.
Or venomous. Yeah. But,
venomous, poisonous.
Yeah. There is a difference, but I can't remember. But, God, these things are scary.
They are pretty scary.
And the way they sneak around, oof.
And Toothless, who's the alpha of dragons on Burke, he can't even, talk to them because Grimmel has them under his control completely. Mm-hmm. Very good. And, I found they actually found a little more to do with some of the characters, like the twins, Tough Nut the boy is trying to make Hiccup more marriage material.
Yes, and he's not very good at it.
Yeah, and Rough Nut actually gets captured, quote unquote, by Grimmel at one point and gets out by annoying the piss out of him. Just talking for 5 minutes straight, and I just hate people who talk all the time. You know what I mean? Grimmel's like, yes, I do. But yeah, kind of the same problems as the other movies. Like the other Dragon Riders don't really have much to do. Like Snoutlout has a crush on Hiccup's mom, but that doesn't really go anywhere.
Fortunately, there's quite a big age difference there.
Yeah. One funny part is Falca volunteers to go back and make sure they weren't followed, and Snoutlout's like, I should go with you. And she's like, no! So yeah, it's a good movie, but I don't think it's as good as the second one or even the first film in some respects.
In my opinion, it would go 1, 3, 2 but with not a lot of space between them.
Yeah, 2, 1, 3 for me.
This is this is just still an excellent trilogy, regardless of how you individually rate them.
It's so good, and I actually appreciate that DreamWorks is kind of letting it end. Because, they had a bit of a problem there with the Shrek movies. Those only ended because they kind of had to.
Yeah, I think Shrek 3 and Shrek 4 kind of shut down. Like, when Dragon was originally announced and did really unexpectedly well at the box office, it was like a sleeper hit that came out in March, and it's like, whoa, this made $200 million out of nowhere. DreamWorks announced, 7 movies, I think.
Yeah, they have a bit of a problem with sequels.
Yeah. And then Shrek 4 happened, and they just backed off and said, you know what, maybe it's better if we just keep this a trilogy.
I think it was Shrek 3 that kind of put the brakes on a lot of their sequels.
Good.
Shrek 3 was not a good movie. And, its performance kind of showed them that, all right, maybe we won't do, 5 Shrek movies. We'll just end at 4. And then I think kind of the same thing happened when they tried to branch off the Madagascar series with the penguins. That movie didn't... The Penguins movie didn't do very well either, so they, any other sequel that could come out of that is kind of halted.
Yeah, there's only so far that you can take a series before it's just a cash grab.
And the one series that they could have had, Rise of the Guardians, that movie didn't do well, and it's good. What happened?
Yeah, it's kind of a shame. A lot of DreamWorks' better ideas and, interesting worlds that maybe weren't executed the best, but they were fascinating worlds. They just dropped.
Yeah, man. DreamWorks, I love you, but what? Come on.
Yeah, it's I really do like DreamWorks. It's just they haven't found their footing. They're making they made The Boss Baby, and they made Home. And it's I don't know. It seems like Disney has a bit better grasp on the quality control where the things they make are consistently good, except The Good Dinosaur. Right. And, you can expect to go and always see a legitimately solid movie with good animation and a good story that's emotionally resonant, but it's a bit rare that they knock the ball completely out of the park.
Yeah.
But they also have a lot fewer failures.
For sure.
DreamWorks tries a lot of things and fails very often at those things.
Yeah. More power to you, DreamWorks, but please, a little more streamlining of quality.
I want to see them do well.
Yeah, I want to see another movie series with the quality of How to Train Your Dragon, because these movies have just been consistently good throughout, and they're over, and it's sad, but it's kind of good that they're over, at least for the time being, because it had a very solid ending. Solid middle, solid beginning. So, there you go.
As a fan of anime, I will say I definitely prefer series that have a coherent beginning, middle, and end, and you can look back fondly on them rather than series that just drag on and on and on and on until seasonal rot makes them worthless.
Yeah.
Give me a good 12 episode or 24 episode anime series, and my life is great. Mm-hmm. So, similar thing.
That's kind of the problem America has in general with once you have a good thing, just run with it until you can't anymore.
And it's not to say that Japan doesn't also have a problem with milking popular things to death.
Sure. Yeah. That's how we have... No, I don't want to say it.
See, to be fair, now the anime production model is that they make a good, 12-episode series, and then after it's ended, they make a theatrical version of the 12-episode animated series. Mm-hmm. Or they remake the 12-episode animated series. Mm-hmm. Whatever.
Well, come what may.
Yeah. Common problem in the animation world. Where do you draw the line between quality control and making money?
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much our thoughts on The Hidden World. Anything else?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I know Becca has opinions.
Mm-hmm. We'll probably do more of an in-depth talk about the whole trilogy at some point.
Yeah, definitely. We have to, because that's like one of her favorites.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I think finally we are caught up.
Yes.
All right. So, well, I don't know. What's our next big thing that we're reviewing?
Good question. We could talk about Dumbo when it comes out.
Oh, yes. Yeah, isn't that in like a week and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Dumbo. Definitely got to talk about it.
Dumbo.
Tim Burton's Dumbo.
I keep forgetting he's directing that, and that's kind of a shame, because he used to be like, well, I mean, I don't mean to drag him. He seems like a cool guy, but like, I feel like at this point there's been so many imitators of his style and such, and his own like, style of filmmaking has changed since the 90s that he's kind of like faded into the background a bit.
Yeah, in the early to mid 90s, it was like, oh gosh, a new Tim Burton movie. We gotta see it. Where, a few years ago, he made Frankenweenie and no one cared. And it was a good movie.
Yeah, it was cute. But like, at the same time, some of his like recent live action films, like whatever the hell that one movie was, Miss Ever Peregrine School for Gifted Youngsters or whatever, that was kind of bland and seemed more like he was setting up a possible franchise that never came out.
Yeah, Dark Shadows was another one where it was just kind of like Tim Burton doing Tim Burton, and it was enjoyable, but
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really see much of his signature style in Dumbo. Like, it looks kind of like anyone could have done it, but I've seen certain bits of this, like, larger circus that kind of remind me of, oh yeah, that kind of looks like Tim Burton, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. And also some history with Tim Burton. He got his start at Disney. He was a Cal Arts grad along with a lot of the founders of Pixar and a lot of like the Disney 1990s Renaissance people.
Yeah, he was an A113 guy.
Yep. He honestly hasn't done that many animated movies, so I'm excited to see him work with a CGI Dumbo and like the things that he does for Disney tend to be very good.
Yeah. We'll see how he does Pink Elephants, if at all.
Well, I mean, they teased it in the trailer, so they're going to at least pay homage to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that will be coming soon.
Yes. And we have talked probably long enough. Let's sign off.
Yes, let's. We did go very long.
Yes. So, my name, once again, is Jason Knott. You can find some of my reviews, including How to Train Your Dragon 3, and not the Lego Movie, because I didn't get around to it, on whatever reviews on blogger.com.
And I'm Carrie Dreblow, YouTube's animation critic, all one word, as well as YouTube's Cheetah King 243, CheetaKing 243. And I do trans videos, and I also do, I did some anime reviews on my Animation Critic channel. Maybe I'll get around to it eventually.
All right, and also look up Becca McGraw stuff. What's her website again? Crap, I should know this.
RebexorCis.com.
Yes, RebexorCis.com.
Yep, she does commissions and art, and she's an awesome person.
Yes, she is still very much part of this podcast, even if she's taken a break.
Yep, it's fine. We wish her well.
I want to thank her brother Mitch for making our theme song. Yeah,
thank you very much, Mitch.
I don't think he has a Twitter still. I'll confirm that with Becca. And if he does, I will add it in post.
Yep, put it in post.
Put it in post.
Eventually we'll know.
Yes. So, all right, that's about it.
Thanks for listening. Woo!
Yeah, Mitch.
Play us out, Mitch.
Yeah! Here we live!
What ultimately is Maya? Stop! Will you stop
Maya,
digging in that box? I'm sorry.
Maya, come home.
Kitty, head out. There's the packing peanuts. Have fun. Just quit making noise.
Eat it.
I shouldn't have opened that package. In any case,
Frozen to the Squeakquel.
Do not mention that in the same episode.
We do not speak of it. Anyway.
Yes, the third and penultimate chapter of the How to Train Your Dragon saga.
Yes. Well, penultimate?
I think that means the concluding.
No, that's preceding the conclusion.
Isn't it?
Yes. I only know that because of a series of unfortunate events. The 12th book is called The Penultimate Peril.
Oh, last but one. Okay, I never knew that.
Oh, there you go. You learned something.
I've been speaking English wrong for years. No!
For a penultimate number of years. Anyway. Oh, sorry, Carrie. I rag on you.
I've been ragged.
Yes. Let's talk about the penultimate Dragons movie now.
All right.